Hello and welcome back to Dial H for Heroclix. I'm your host, Kalder and Ian. This is episode 556, the one where we talk about the ChampionClix Open. Howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy. Dial H for Heroclix is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock every day, including all the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. Make sure you check them out at CoolStuffInc.com. Use code DIAL5, DIAL5, for 5% off your Cool Stuff Inc. order. And if you want to get HeroClix straight from the source, you can go to shop.wizkids.com. Use code DIALH10 for 10% off your HeroClix order. Not usable with certain pre-orders, promos, or iconics. Joining me, like always, in the studio is Ian Eggleston. What's going on, Ian?
You know, I've got something to say this week.
Oh, all right. Well, now's your chance.
Now's the chance. Well, I gave a scathing review to a certain
Starting with this, all right.
super rare prime in the Spider-Man set. That was the Dr. Octopus. We pulled him in our team sealed. He was obviously an all-star in that team sealed. I mean, how could you not be, right? But I said, how is this figure super rare prime? And you know, it's been a coming to Clix moment, right? I don't know.
Yeah?
I've had to look at myself long, hard in the mirror and realize that maybe I was wrong. I didn't realize that was possible. I'm kidding. Really, though, this figure might actually have way more legs to stand on. And this is just a shining example to not get your opinions solely from people who do this. I am really trying my hardest to build with this figure now. I don't have anything yet. Nothing concrete. But I think there might be something there, and in a way I hate to say that, but also it's like, you know, it's cool to have more viable stuff. So in the coming weeks, you know, I'm sure I'll have more to say, but, you know, nix my initial review. Maybe not. I don't know. I did such a question mark on this figure. Maybe he is just garbage. I'm starting to think not, but I also don't think he's like the crazy strongest thing ever. So yeah, it's been a battle really since we left Florida of me trying to build.
You really have been. It was like, man, am I crazy? What in the world?
I might be crazy.
I guess I'm playing him, and then it's just been like, this team, maybe this team, and I'm like, wow,
maybe, yeah. Like
Ian's like
5 in the morning
getting,
at the airport.
Strong, yeah, dude. In the airport at like 4 a.m. You're like, man, what if I played him with this? I'm like, dude,
what about
how
this?
are you thinking about this right now? It's so funny.
It's just been been the thing like on and off my mind for a while now, just because, yeah, I mean, I said some very strong opinions about it.
I mean, I don't see how he's good either. Like on paper, just looking at his dial, I'm like, this can't be a super rare prime. There's no way.
I mean, it certainly looks that way on paper. I can't deny that. Putting him in play in sealed, obviously, again, he's a star. Global mastermind, minimal outwit. Yeah, you're never going to kill him. He's dishing enough damage. But in a competitive format, there may just be a world to make him work. I just don't quite know how or if. But more to come on that. ChampionClix was a lot of fun.
It was a good time. It was a lot of fun. We so Thursday, Battle Royale day. Nothing crazy. Having fun, hanging out, seeing people, running into people in the lobby. It was a great time. Friday, Alphabet Soup. 14 teams using the letter S to start the
out of 25 total.
Out of 25. Then it was, I believe, 5 was B, 4 was C.
There was a K.
There was 1 K and 1 W.
Yeah, no M.
No M.
Sorry,
I know,
Matt,
dude. I was so
M.
disappointed. There's no M. There's no Master Bowl. No Major Brock's Bunker. No Morlock Tunnels. I'm like, what? How is there no M? I was so surprised. I was more probably surprised with the amount of B. I understand like Beetlejuice, Batman, stuff like that.
B was good. Blackheart too.
Blackheart. Well, Blackheart to me was so solved by the time his like gotten in modern, like old Blackheart.
Yeah, we're talking Rise and Fall.
Yeah, Rise and Fall. Like people were playing him, and he was still effective, and he was still good. But like by the time he was leaving modern, it was like, yeah, I know how to deal with this guy. It's just kind of how Blackheart felt to me.
Yeah, but you know, part of that too is like the frame you operate in. You know, if you're not expecting Blackheart necessarily,
fair enough.
So I think that
I mean, I remember when that piece first came out. I'm like, he just gets to charge and then run a shot. Like, that's
anybody
who
just gets to do stuff as free, like especially actions that are not free. Yeah, and then turning those Hellfire Guards to their click and just going off with them.
Nasty.
Yeah, I mean, C was surprising. I really thought there'd be more.
Dude, I loved C. Shout out Emily and Devin, man, for playing C and getting second overall at the event.
Well, what's crazy is like in Silver Age, a really strong combo was Colossus with Captain Carter's shield.
Yeah.
I don't like that's insane.
Just
What else
period.
do you need to make that team good? But then, yeah, Chip for like support. Obviously, like the Captain America on Pegasus. Emily played Collector.
Yeah.
There's a lot in C, so I was surprised by that. But Alphabet Soup as a whole, I think, seemed pretty well received. Even with like the dominance of S, there was still a very good variance in S.
Yeah.
Though that variance were some scary figures.
Ooh.
Sky Tyrant, Scarab, Spider-Man Prime. They're all back to play. Saturnine, who... that figure is lame.
I hate it so much. Saturnine's just tough
Just
to play
editing
against, dude.
dice rolls.
Let me just, -1. Okay, are we done now? Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Are you
Thanks.
sure you don't want to prob it? I hate that question.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Oh, I hate it so much. Sure?
Oh,
You rolled exactly what you needed. You sure?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no, I'm not going to
painful.
prob it. I hit, all right, I'm going to Saturnine. Oh, come on.
Ugh.
And then maybe your opponent lets you take it back, but it's like, I did ask you, which is fair. But I hate the situations that S figure creates.
Shocking.
Shocking.
Stupefying.
Superb.
Superb.
Not superb at all.
No.
But anyway, Alphabet Soup
Quite
seemed
sad.
pretty solid. I mean, my opinion on Silver is that I actually like when there are more restrictions in place. It makes building
There just needs to be
just more
some
manageable.
form of restriction. I wish Silver would go back to being theme, where at
I do
least
too.
you shared like that named keyword. I enjoyed building theme Silver.
I had a lot of fun with
I
it.
had like
yeah.
a blast doing that, but like building just normal Silver, not as.
I
much
never
fun,
feel
not
like
even
it's
close.
good enough.
No,
and
I
people
just
will
feel like
probably
it
tell
lacks.
you, just throw the pieces on the table. It's like, I just can't do that. I can't do that.
I can do that to an extent, but not to play like in the States or something.
Yeah, in
that's
the
like,
States.
That's insane.
Oh, man.
Just
We're still on S.
S. Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. States.
Oh,
Steak.
Moment.
Steak and shakes.
steak and shake. Lots of shakes.
There was a lot of shakes this weekend.
Science.
It was good. Ooh. Wow.
Yeah.
Steak and shake and science.
I
Stone.
suppose. Stone, indeed.
Stone.
Yeah, a majority of Calder and I's trip was actually just drinking chocolate shakes and watching Dr. Stone.
It was
which
a pretty chill
was
way
a
to
great
spend-
way to spend
kinda
the
rocked.
weekend, honestly.
Uh,
So I suppose we can just kind of go through things day by day. Yeah, Thursday was very much like a nothing day for us.
We got set up.
We set up.
we slept.
We slept. We saw some people.
Ooh.
But yeah, we just, got everything moving. This was kind of funny. So we have that new camera. I'm still not ultra familiar with it. And the picture was just coming through like so horribly. And I just was sitting there like, well, I've done all the stuff I did to like make it look good in the past. Like, what is happening? And it got to a point where I was even messaging Luke, who's like my go-to guy for when I have issues with this stuff. And while he's like, yeah, I can call you. Don't worry. I'm like, oh, the lens. So then I just rotated it a little bit. It focused, and then I had no issues. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I was like, why don't you just try doing that? I see.
I thought it was a software issue. We're done. Okay, I'll be done.
Yeah.
So yeah, after that, I bought the Sandman Iconics. I had to get one more in there.
Wow, dude.
Oh no, I got another, and then the Spider-Man.
I knew it.
The trio, which is super cool. Even if it just exists as a shelf piece, it is really solid.
Which arrived
I'm not
safely.
even trying right now, dude.
Yeah.
S is a broken
Is-
alphabet soup. Are you hearing this?
Just broken overall.
But yeah, that figure is super cool. I didn't pick up a Spider Rex. That's more your speed, Calder.
It is true. I will get one of those eventually.
But yeah, I mean, those were really cool.
I was impressed that you risked it. Like, put that like thing in the bag. I was like, I don't want to buy a Spider
No.
Rex and then put it in the bag and have it get
yeah.
destroyed. But Spider-Man Ghost Spider arrived safe.
I mean, it
and
had that
sound.
nice plastic insert. I wasn't too
It
worried
did,
about
yeah.
it.
But I was still just like, 65-pound bag that turned into like
It was
70-pound
it
bag.
was a good price. If I had to glue it, so be it. It would
True.
have been more expensive online. So I was like, yeah, I
Fair enough.
want one of these. I'll pick one up. The Sandman Iconics was largely because the equipment, which if you
Dreamstone.
haven't picked one of those up, even if you don't like the property, the equipment in there, I think they honestly all have some legs to stand on. But obviously the Dreamstone Ruby, like
Yeah.
giving barrier out, if you look through your options for barrier and modern right now, pretty limited. So especially if you're going theme, it's just a good way to get that on your force. But yeah, Thursday, people were playing battle royales. We hung out a bit. We really didn't do anything too crazy.
Just kind of got set up. Kind of figured out what home base looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah, tested some things out.
Didn't find out about our audio issues until Friday, which was a bummer.
That was tough.
But we've already purchased the solution.
Yep.
So next time, guys, we'll deliver more on
Easy.
that. But yeah, Thursday, we should probably talk about the BR structure because that's when it kind of started.
It was very unique. Yeah, so they were brick BRs, and this is how they played them Thursday. They later changed them. Thank goodness. So the brick BR went where you each got 2 boosters, and then 4 boosters went to just prize pool at the end. Out of your 2 boosters, you would pick 1 figure from one figure from the other, and then you would pass them. And then you would play all 10-ish, depending on equipment or whatever, 10 of the figures that you pulled, which just ended up being so many figures on the board. Just an insane amount of stuff on the board,
the
dude.
time of his life with that pulse wave.
That's true.
Holy.
In this format, at least.
I walked by multiple tables, and I would look at it, I'm like, oh, they're drafting. No, they were playing.
They had that many. It's just wild to have that many figures on a board. And that, after talking to some of the players, they're like, it was a little cumbersome. It was a little too much.
At least you're always punching something, though. That's what I kept thinking is like, that doesn't seem like that bad. Yeah. Do I prefer it? Probably not. But man, I will say, like, when you have a single pack and you pull like that, oh, I got the good support rare, but that's not going to do me a whole lot in this match. So at least it increases your chances there. But then you introduce stuff like goons too, which are like coming back. And I know there's already a respawn, but now they're coming back like more than likely in the same square they were in. Yeah, cumbersome for sure. But overall, it seemed like people had a good time, and I like that pretty much every time you were in a BR, you were walking away with something.
Yeah.
Even without, like with this not being like a WizKids event, there's not the 4 LEs thrown in the pool. I believe it was 2. And then you're drafting boosters on top of that. I really like that. That's super cool. Because I think just about every time it's like, yeah, I'm risking it on the booster. Unless, if you haven't seen the chase especially.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I love that. And then like the legacy card being thrown in there, like using the entirety of a brick for a battle royale. Play-wise, questionable, but prize-wise, it's super
pretty fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
what they ended up doing then was like you got 2 boosters and you built a 300-point team, which I like that a little bit more. That's what we did the first year that they did.
I like
full
that,
brick battle royales back in 2023 with the Batman team up set. I thought that was a blast. Playing,
I like that a lot more.
Building a team with it was fun.
Mm-hmm. I think that's better than just throw like everything on the board. Like, oh my goodness. And then, I know people have their opinions on Sealed, which I'm sure we'll get to later in the episode here. I love this set for Sealed. I still love it for Sealed.
Yeah, straight up, I think it's one of the worst sets for Sealed ever, literally ever made. I may have had I'm actually so thankful that pre-release is over. Release happened while we were gone, and then I played my team event, so I literally never, ever, ever have to play Sealed of this set ever again. I'm like, literally, glory, glory, hallelujah. I never want to play this Sealed set, literally ever again in a million years.
I loved every minute of it.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad one of us
played in Florida. Oh yeah, that was a steam rolling.
Yeah, we might as well talk about it. Spider-Punk might be the worst figure.
We'll get to it. Oh
well, I'm just gonna say Spider-Punk's awful. I hate Spider-Punk.
That's fair.
That's
and to counter that, Moreland, a beast.
Yeah, he is a beast.
Holy, that's if you guys are still playing release events, probably not at this point.
Probably not, but maybe.
That Moreland, let us know if he carried you. Because
the Moreland tech that maybe a lot of people don't know is that you can just support him.
Mm-hmm. And then you get to generate a bystander.
Yeah.
I believe the reason being, if we pull up his card, is that it says, when he would heal, it's instead you get to generate a bystander, if I'm not mistaken. We'll double check that really quickly. So people had questions, and they announced this.
Once per turn, when Moreland would heal, he may instead generate an inheritor bystander.
So the reason why what we're about to talk about works is because of that keyword instead. So after the first round, in the middle of the second round, PJ just announced yes, Moreland can still create a bystander even if he's not healed, so on top dial. So a really common combo that you could run is Moreland with the common lizard, who just has support, 30 points, maybe he turns into lizard, whatever. But turn 1, you can just support him, and then here's a bystander. Next turn, here's a bystander. So the guy's a factory, and he's also just a beast against so much of the set. With the precision strike, the big damage, reducers are huge.
In my opinion, the best thing about him is the reducers. The fact that if you only have one outwit, so you outwit Invincible or something, and then you have to slog through invulnerability after that point in time. So I think that's honestly, just the changing of reducers is so big on him.
And if you have those bystanders out too, you can so quickly heal him again.
Oh, dude, it hurts. It hurts so bad. Seeing it, like, I always hated it. My opponent would, like, look at the card. I'm like, just make Boron bricks, dude.
Yeah,
Don't
you
waste
know.
my time. Don't.
You know
and
what's
I think
coming
I'll
out.
make, who do you think it'll make? Boron bricks? Yeah, Boron bricks.
Yeah,
All right, put them on the map.
I thought so.
You're like, what in the world? There's nothing to think about.
So, yeah, that Moreland combo, I mean, that's something in Pulp. Like, those bystanders are nasty. So, you know, I mean, and also, like, 80 and 65, the split line. I think every time you're playing 80,
Gotta go 80.
I can't
How do you
imagine you're
not?
ever doing 65, unless you really want that goon on your force, right?
I guess.
So, yeah, Friday. Anyway.
Friday was Alphabet
We'll get more
Soup.
to seal.
There was some great Alphabet Soup stuff going on. We kind of talked about it, but like I loved Emily and Devin's teams for C. The people that won it all was the Berkovitzes. So Isaac and Ed won everything. They did play S, but top three is interesting. It was S, C, and then B.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool to note.
And I'll say, walking by, and Isaac also streamed a few of the matches if you want to check those out. Isaac was just stomping people out. It was so crazy.
Dude, it was so nasty.
The combo of Spider-Man Prime and Swamp Thing, like Swamp Thing changes size, you carry him up, you beat the crap out of whoever you want.
Drop him, free plant, free attack.
So Carrie and Iron Man had the surfboard too, which gives him hypersonic, so he can collect objects like really easily. And then, yeah, just his power selection was so impressive on Sakari and Iron Man. I caught multiple moments where it's like, oh, I'm taking like Force Blast and Stealth. It's just like, I don't know. It's like you see stuff like that, and it really makes you question if like you were playing the same game as somebody.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, like when you know, like I think everyone at a certain point has like a really good macro analysis of Heroclix, and it's the people who can make the micro decisions that really separate like great from good. And yeah, just consistently being able to do that and witnessing it is always cool. It's not just Isaac who's capable of that. It just happened to be him that I saw him doing it with because I was curious. Because his matches sometimes are over in like
fast.
10 minutes.
Yeah, they're fast.
Like, I got to check this out. And yeah, I watched him crack through like a defensive shell that was B, like running the Beetlejuice. Bizarro Green Arrow. The Brimstone Colossal, which was cool. And then a few other things like with plasticity.
This?
Yeah, Black Leopard. That was the one I was trying to remember. And yeah, watching him like figure out, and then Beta Ray Bill too, like so many opportunities to just stop you in your tracks. And then like once Beetlejuice was off the map, like he KO'd that, he just cracked through and it was just over. It was, I don't know, super, super cool. So yeah. I don't know where I was really going with this.
It is neat though. I do like, Bizarro, Black Butter Bill. Oh, Beta Ray Bill. That's funny.
I think this might not be the exact solution for like Silver Age, in my opinion. And, you know, some people might argue that Silver Age doesn't need a solution. Silver Age is already good where it's at. Personally, not in love with the format at the moment. You know, that's full transparency there. I think restrictions just make building more palatable for me. Building's like my favorite part of it, and Silver is just not something that I've enjoyed building for. So I like to see those restrictions in it. A majority of the feedback I received while at the event, people were happy about Alphabet Soup. People were enjoying it.
People, really liked it. Pretty much everybody I talked to was enjoying Alphabet Soup. So I was like, yeah, heck yeah.
And I think a lot of that, you know, could be coming from like the team aspect of it. I think anytime you get teams, anytime you pair up, I like building in a team setting too. Like that's a lot of fun, especially when it's like Highlander, where it's like, okay, if I take this, you can't have that. Like the 3v3 Highlander event that they did at Heroclix for Huntington's, I really wanted to play in that. I know you ended up doing it. It sounded like a blast.
I did. That was awesome. That's seriously one of my most like favorite ways to play the game, where it's the constructed 3 teams. I think is so fun. With the Super Highlander, we can only have one figure on the team, and it can't appear on any other team. That is like seriously some of the most fun playing Heroclix I've ever had. I played that event like 2-3 times now, but yeah, when Matt Reed, Spencer White, and I played, and we just were trying to figure out like, oh man, this is who I want on my build. So this is the style of team I'm building. You know, what style of team are you building? It's like this is what we can put on your build, and you're trying to min max to build like 900 points. It's so much fun.
So fun.
It's
like
so
literally
much
before
fun.
figures even hit the board. I think that I absolutely love that. You know, the thing with Alphabet Soup that I still find a little questionable is that there were like no banned or benched elements, right? Like everything.
Yeah, PJ said go nuts, basically.
Yeah, and that, you know, here's Sky Tyrant again, which he was never banned or benched, but, you know, Scarab was back in play, which No, that doesn't ever need to happen. But at the same time, you do get Jason Wingard. Unfortunately, Jay is
Scarab nasty.
as we found, a pretty awful.
There's
keyword.
like nothing. There's like nothing for Jason to make in Jay. It's so sad.
Mm-hmm. If you could play multiples of one figure on your team, dude, I would have if I played in that event, I would have played like 4 Jason Wingards. Oh yeah,
that kind of rock.
We have the Jasons. We have the Jasology.
I miss Jason so much, though.
He's the man.
Oh,
and I know people are going to be like, how are you hating on Scarab and then championing Jason?
How do you guys like Jason?
It's my life. I pick the rules.
True.
I have way more fun with Jason than
He's
ever
way
did
more
with
fun
Scarab.
than Scarab. There's so much more stuff you can do with Jason.
Yeah,
Scarab is just, I'm going to shoot you across the map.
Yeah, I'm going to be annoying.
I'm going to outwit you, shoot you across the map.
Jason might be annoying, but he's just so cool while
at
he
least
does
he's
it.
got to make all these big attack rolls. Sometimes that mind control chain doesn't go off. Sometimes it does that. When it does, ooh, baby.
Yeah.
Dropping fun pogs. Like, bystanders are, like, again, one of the most fun elements in the game. And it's like, yeah, you can drop any bystander. As long as the main character is 150 points or more. But yeah, drop any bystander you want. That rocks. That's so much fun.
Yeah, as bystander lovers, it's hard.
How can you hate Jason?
Hard to debate against the king. Yeah,
it's true.
So yeah, I think we got about what we expected out of Alphabet Soup.
Yeah,
and I don't know. Overall, I think it was positive. I did actually receive like a little bit of negative feedback towards the event.
Oh, okay.
With some people expressing that, playing against S, even though there was like variance in the teams, it was still a lot of redundancy with things like Sky Tyrant, with things like Spider-Man Prime, which is, to be expected, Saturnine, all that jazz, the stuff that won. I don't think many people were playing Starro, though, which that was on Ed's build. I think there was one or two other people playing
both
Starros.
The Silver Age Starro and then the current modern like legacy card Starro. Mm-hmm. Very, very crazy stuff. Although I think Isaac, I don't think this is even a reach. I think he carried Ed all day.
Oh yeah,
I don't think Ed.
I don't know how he couldn't. Because the way that like a tiebreaker would be decided is like point differential, and again, like Isaac was having you scoop your pieces in 10 minutes.
Yeah, so like he was just crushing it.
So.
Yeah, just murdering it.
If I think that might have been their strategy going into it, it's like I'll work on giving up the least amount of points possible. I'll heal my Starro up, I'll play defensively, and then you just absolutely murder
just
him.
Annihilate him. Yeah,
and he did that.
Make it nice and easy.
Oh, he did that. So overall, would I like to see Alphabet Soup again? Yes and no. Yeah. I think more towards yes. I just think there has to be some kind of like limitation with the banning and benching. I don't quite know what that is, but just something to make it flourish outside of S. I mean, it's really funny that S is as good as it is, right?
S tier.
It's S tier.
Literally S tier. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it is S tier. It's so S tier. Maybe just what does the format look like if S were to be taken away? Is everyone now just on C?
I think C or B are tied for like A tier.
Yeah, probably. I mean, maybe you just give a pool.
I think
of
I would like
letters.
I would like to see this more fleshed out.
I really would. I think it's
there's
cool.
like the offline. Like I don't think we can totally go based off of because I don't really think W is all that crazy. Even though it was literally W, K, C, B, and S. Like those are the only letters used. I think W is kind of a dark horse. I think those guys are having a good time.
Yeah.
I think K sort of has stuff with like Kong,
Noel, Kevin, Kong.
Yeah, there's a handful of things in K that are like, okay, I can see it. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I think like B and C are strong. I think just getting like Colossus, every Captain America, like Captain Carter's shield, the cloak, all these things, like
Chip,
Collector, Commissioner. Yeah. B though, like shifting Batman, Beetlejuice, all the Black Panthers, there's a lot of good stuff in each of these. I just think if we were to like flesh this format out more than like the 50 players that played in it, right, 25 teams, we could have seen some more cool stuff. But
yeah,
as far as its like main run, everybody knew S was going to be insane. S was S tier.
No one questioned that.
Played S. Crazy amount, like every super anything, spider anything, and then
there you go.
Sky Tyrant, just an insane amount of stuff.
A surprising amount of equipment as well.
Yeah.
So that's something to look at. I don't know what exactly it would be, but I would like to see Alphabet Soup revised. I think the team aspects.
I think it'd be a fun thing to do locally. Alphabet Soup,
just kind of pilot it, see what's going on.
Yeah,
maybe there's more to it.
Whatever your little weekly event is, just say, "Hey guys, we're gonna play Alphabet Soup. S is bunched. S is banned.
See just what happens.
Just see what happens. See what happens."
So cool.
So cool.
So cool, man.
Surprising.
But yeah, Friday overall, I think
It was a
people
great
had
time.
a good time.
Yeah, it was a little casual,
BRs were
fun
running
event.
all day, which there were some people who were there solely to play
Dude,
BRs.
jamming 'em.
Mad respect to those
Jamming
people.
the
I
BRs.
used to be just like you, just BRs only. It's the way of the warrior right there.
Yeah.
You go there, it's like, I know what I'm
Get me in
coming
another
home
one.
with.
One's done. Get me in another
Yeah,
one.
I'm queuing.
Run another table. Run
Solo
another
queuing
table.
all day.
Yeah, dude.
Crazy.
I love the way they ran BRs this event because it was, hey, as soon as you get 4 people, you just get to go play. And
Yeah.
that's like the way BR should be. Like I understand that when you're at like Gen Con or something, you have to do all these like pre-ticketed events. It's so annoying. It's so killer to have to do that. It's way more fun to just be like, hey, here's $20 or whatever. Get me in a BR. Here's my buddies. We're gonna jump in a BR together. That's beautiful.
And then they're walking around going, hey, we have three. Does anyone want to hop
do you have
in?
another one?
Like, they were doing everything they could to just fire off as many as they could.
That rocked.
And David had, like, I don't know, like 15 timers on his desk.
Dude, oh yeah, all those little plastic timers.
And he's like, hey, can you watch these for a minute? He's like, so here's my system. He's like, this one furthest, that's that table over here. The one to the left, that's
so
the one
funny.
down there. I'm like, dude, why don't you just put them at the table? Like,
Also that.
hide them.
Put 'em, yeah, face down.
It was really funny. His system worked, though.
Yeah.
Last
worked, it
action was
worked.
called, whatever. But I was just like, I suppose I can watch this, but I don't know how much help I'm going to be.
Yeah. The next day, Saturday, big dance. Stupid early start time, which ended up being necessary, though, for old Saturday. So they had a 8 a.m. registration, 9 a.m. first round called, when so many Heroclix tournaments in the past had been like 10 a.m. registration, 11 a.m. start. Like, I was so wired in, like, that's when you do it, right? Or even, like, on the off chance, 9 a.m. registration, 10 a.m. start. That was early. 8 a.m. registration to a 9 a.m. start? Oh, brother. I'm not even awake yet. I'm not even a human being yet at this point.
Rarely.
Like, on a Saturday for a Heroclix event?
Absolutely not.
Oh, certainly not, dude. Certainly not. So, awesome event. 62 players in the main 300 modern event. I love the creativity. Like, I know we're in a defensive meta right now, and we saw a ton of that. But, man, did I just super enjoy a lot of the teams that were playing. Oh, I love seeing that. I love seeing that.
Main Force, the most popular figure was Timebreaker.
I love it, dude.
I wonder
With 75
why.
wins, he's just
Well,
that
no,
good.
sorry, not the most popular. The highest win percentage?
Highest win percentage, yeah, it was Timebreaker. He's on 23 teams. He had 75 wins, so he won 59.1% of the time, which, again, there's an absurd amount of, I guess 23 out of 62. Wow, he's really only on 23 teams? That's kind of wild. Black Panther, Chair Panther comes in second at the old HC Units meta-analysis here. He is on 29 teams with 74 wins. Perdegaton only on 21 teams with 72 wins. This is fun. Kevin was only on 8 teams? Wow.
Kevin,
He balled out so hard, though.
Just quickly on, like, the event itself. Yeah, I mean, this was, like, I think the most seamlessly ran modern event I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, no hiccups. Just
9
right
a.m.,
through it.
dice were rolling at 9:07.
9:07.
And it did not stop except for, like, a 20-minute break for people to kind of eat and breathe until it was over. Like, they just went straight into top cut, just like last year. And then it was just crazy. It was so well run. HC Units is a great resource to do this on. And then, just quickly on HC Units, like, running the team sealed event through that made it so much easier. Like, one player reports everything. It's done.
It was so easy to see my table. It was so easy to go put in points. Like,
Yeah.
when we were playing team sealed, I was like, yep, that's the table. All right, cool. Let's go to it.
And then, yeah, that was it.
It was flawless, dude. The amount of time between matches was so little.
Yeah,
Like, we
you
were just
were
able
not
to go,
waiting.
like, boom, next
I was
match.
like, all right,
boom,
let's
next
go.
match. It ruled. Like, seriously, use HC Units. So
And then
good.
all of it being just, like, visible to you as well. So
Yeah.
it's like, if you want to look at other things, like other pairings, whatever it be, like, it's all just housed in the same area. Yeah, it's just crazy. So it made Modern just fly by. It made Team Sealed, which we'll talk about in a bit here, fly by as well. So, like, the Modern event, I can't remember what time it ended at. Was it probably around, like, 8?
It was a little late. Probably the biggest break
right around
there
8
was
p.m.
was between top 4 and top 2. I feel like that was probably the biggest break in the event.
Yeah.
For some shenanigans that needed to happen.
Oh,
before-
yeah. I had
before
to
it
do
started.
that.
It rocked.
David wanted to go bigger.
This is really cool.
So we did, like, WWE style intros with, like, a smoke machine and some lights, and, we filmed them walking in. Again, we just had some audio issues. We didn't capture all the music of it. It was kind of a bummer. But considering that we had to pack everything we needed into a bag, 'cause typically we drive to events and we bring everything we've got. We were just working in a more limited scope, but I'm still happy with how it turned out. I mean,
I was really impressed with honestly with just being able to pack just the green bag in order to take what we can on an airplane. I was super impressed with what we were able to do. Very solid coverage without having just running it all off the laptop, no desktop or anything there. I was very impressed with the coverage we were able to bring to the event and how good it looked.
Yeah,
I did talk with a few people and they're like, that camera is clean. That camera
you can
rocks.
see the pips of the dice.
Who knew?
That's really nice, and it's still not fully worked out. There's more to learn. There's more to. I mean, the coloring is just still a little goofy, and I don't quite know how to fix that
to
yet.
The camera.
There's a lot of secrets to this camera.
Tell me your secrets, baby girl.
But
Please,
then, the framing of it too. There's more that we can do, which I'm excited for. Right away, another note just off to the side. When we got home, we bought another set of wireless mics.
Yeah.
The upgraded versions of the one we currently
so excited
have.
For these.
So now it's we had talked about wanting to do commentary. That was initially the plan. The wired mics we had just sounded like they were underwater.
Yeah.
We didn't have our mixer with us, and there's really no way that I can correct the audio on it through OBS. I mean, you can change your gain, whatever, but it's not going to do a whole lot for you. Somebody with more knowledge on this, let me know if we potentially could have. But I called Alec. I went up to the hotel room, and I was like, Alec, you got any suggestions here? He's like, how close are you to a store to buy another mic? I was like, I'm not going to do that. That's what it boiled down to, and he was right. So no shade to you, Alec. I appreciate you.
It's just not what you want to hear.
No,
you want a solution, which is it's
all.
a very fair solution, but it's oh, okay.
So yeah, we wanted to do commentary. We did some pre-match commentary on some of the the larger games, starting around top 8, which that was fun.
Yeah,
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
But going forward, listening back and just watching more matches, especially defensive matches, there is a lot of time to talk. So I think that going forward, commentary, the next event we're at, which, this got announced today, Origins.
Yeah, Origins, man.
We are working out a way to hopefully get there. And we've got a lot of stuff that I would like to pilot there. A lot of help coming in potentially as well. I don't have all the details. I'd love to say more, but I just don't. But commentary is something that we are on the same footing with you guys on. We want to do it. We were going to do it in Florida. Technical issues.
There he goes.
It is what it is. You don't have all the toys with you. And then, just the whole audio thing. Oh my gosh, I couldn't do anything. So, sorry about that. Anyway, Modern.
My favorite team, I believe ended up getting 20th. I believe out of 60 people. So my personal favorite team was Sheldon. He was playing the past team. We did talk about this a little bit on the stream, so I absolutely love this team. So even though it has a Superman on it, which is a shame, no team is perfect. And this Superman could actually be anybody if we use a certain card, a one shot. But he's double time breaker, Perdegadon, reverse Flash main force, Captain America, Pegasus Cap with Mjolnir, Flash Raptor with Gaia, Caveman Wally West with the longsword, goated, love the longsword now, and then he's playing the DC Iconic Superman with Stormbreaker. And so what he's using there is this Superman has the ability to, and I had to have him explain it to me because obviously I didn't look at the Superman. It's Superman. Why would I ever pay attention to this? But he has, at the beginning of your turn, you may deal Superman 1 unavoidable damage. So he has his own kind of banner click, his own activation click, top dial, and he can just self-damage himself right away. So that means Flash Raptor can just go ahead and pick him up, take him across the map. And he has this cool charge that when he uses it, you knock back each character that he moved through. And then with Stormbreaker, is this character's knockback, any opposing characters, and any knockback damage dealt is penetrating. So now he's dealing all this free penetrating damage. When the Superman charges up, he can move 10 squares, so he moves up 5 squares to charge. Thanks to Flash Raptor carrying him all the way across the map, gets to attack somebody, be a 12 for 4, right? And then it's got just 5 main attackers. It's got Superman, Caveman Wally, Flash Raptor, Captain America, Reverse Flash. Just a ton of solid attackers where the philosophy of the team is that you might kill one guy, might kill 2 guys, and I still have an insane amount of guys that are going to mess you up. It also ran Mind Gem, Fortify, Rivalry, Beetlejuice, like I said, Gaia, and Mimic. I just thought it was a really cool team. I wanted to highlight it. I thought Sheldon's a great player. He was really fun to chat with. I thought he had a really cool original team idea. And of course he's playing Past. So I love seeing some Past.
Some real.
So yeah.
It's very real now. Past is a really solid keyword.
Absolutely.
I don't have a specific team that I loved, but I did love seeing the prominence of Collector's Trove Juggernaut.
Yeah.
I thought that figure was really cool. There were a lot of people who said, he's probably not good enough. I think he's doing just fine. So keep playing Juggernaut. He rocks.
I think he was cool, yeah.
And then, okay, so going into this event, I had 3 figures that I was, primarily 2 that I was talking about a lot, but a third one that I was
you were
saying.
hoping to see. One you're saying no one should run, and then...
Well, no, I was saying that. So Ulysses was the person where I'm like, yeah, this guy's going to take it all. And it's crazy how many people I talk to. They're like, I love this figure. He's so good. He's so amazing. Not playing it. Why?
It's wild.
He's still that guy. I'm going to stand on that. Ulysses is the man.
Yeah.
I think we'll get into more of this later. I think
slow?
non-theme is on the rise. Well, it's because I think you need to play him with Kevin. And there's a lot of people who I think are scared to break theme. Your top 2 finalists were not themed.
Very true.
Just saying. Possibilities there. Reverse Flash, obviously, you guys have heard me talk about him incessantly. But then Ghost Rider here and there, where it's like, yeah, I think that he's in a good spot. I've been saying that on this show and then also with Alec. Like, Alec and I were building a team around Colossus, Ghost Rider, and Man-Thing to deal with Hidari Yao. And looking back on that, it's like, man, running, I think, that shell, you probably would have done really, really well in Florida based on what we saw here. And I'm not trying to take away from the players. It's not just their teams. You have to pilot them well as well. But yeah, Kevin being on both top teams too. Like, yeah, man. This figure is standalone good enough to say that playing theme is optional. That's how good Kevin is. That's how valuable a reroll is. We were spoiled in the Scott Porter meta. Yeah. And everyone's like, it's over. Everyone's done being spoiled.
Way spoiled.
You don't have to be. I mean, at 50 points, the same cost as 2 Scott Porters. Is this guy doing as much? No. But the fact that you're getting an 8 range, see through everything, outwit because you're giving him Tourette, that's why he's 50 points. 8 range, support through everything in a defensive meta, that's crazy. And then your choice of prob, leadership, perplex, empower, enhancement, support again, outwit again, whatever you want. Obviously, you can't do those things again. This is a joke. But Kevin, yeah, I only on 8 teams, but man, like, I'm looking at him a lot closer now. I literally think he is strong enough to break theme for, especially given like the amount of defensive stuff you can make. And if we're in a defensive meta, the biggest reason you want to play theme is so you can hit first and hit hard. Now, things can change. People will start running more counters to things like Ghost Rider. A really common one that almost no one is doing right now was the playing an elevation on your team, dropping that under Ghost Rider to break adjacency. So with that not being prevalent, it's like, yeah, Ghost Rider shines so much more. So all of this stuff has been answered. It can be answered again. It wasn't answered at this event. Will it be answered in the future? Now you have to start thinking about threading that into your teams. But I really think that Kevin is good enough, like literally that figure is good enough to say, like, I'll break theme. There's my bold claim of the week, I guess. Sure. But yeah, I'm really happy that Ghost Rider finally won something. He was a second place man. Yeah.
He's always been relevant, but he was just never that guy.
He was never that guy. He was never quite good enough. He was in the Ultra Chase Thanos spot where he was a second place man pretty much his entire existence, but Ghost Rider finally got his.
Which rocks.
And then
pretty sweet.
The other combo that you have to mention with Ghost Rider too, while we're talking about all of this, is the Crimson Gem on Ghost Rider carrying the phone booth. Giving your entire team shape change that is protected from just about everything. Very, very, very good. Really strong answer, and I would bet that this is the original reason this team was built. Really strong answer to Hidari Yao, who was played on... Let me just double check here. Had a message about this. Wow. Well, I don't know how many teams she was played on. Calder will find that. It was... Are you scrolling?
Where is she, dude? There. Oh, wow, okay.
It was 8 teams.
She's on 8 teams. That seems low.
She had a 30% win rate on the day. 17% if you remove Isaac.
Only 10 wins. Wow.
So...
Interesting. That's so low.
That poses a lot of questions. And we don't need to necessarily get into that now, but it's like, where do range attackers stand? Like, this is the best range attacker in the game.
And it's low. That's real
Where does
low.
it stand? I mean, Universal Weapon, 3 damage pulse wave. how much of it too is like, I don't really want to play the most meta figure? How much of it is, this figure's too
People being a little
expensive?
creative, yeah.
I feel like if Hadar Yao was like Iron Man or Spider-Man, like that
you'd see
character.
more play. I could see that, yeah.
But Hadar Yao, it's like, how many people are like deep cut Storm fans? I don't know how many other people factor that into what they play. I factor that in a lot. I like playing the characters.
Oh, I do all the time.
I know you do too. It's like if I like a character,
not do it. That's my favorite way to play the game is play
try
my
to
favorite
make it
dudes.
work. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So even if they're suboptimal, which Hadar Yao is definitely not.
No, not at all.
But really surprising. Also, I know there was a decent amount of butterflies, less so at this event, but Death Metal Wonder Woman was only on 10 teams.
It is kind of wild.
Thought she'd be higher. Ulysses Bloodstone on 7? Come on, guys.
I wanted to see him more.
Either way, Beetlejuice Main Force 2 was on the second place team.
Yeah, I mean,
that was something that was written off.
It is kind of wild. Like what Rob was talking about in a lot of his games, where he'd be like, no, he's main force. And people would just be like, oh,
huh?
Dang, dude. That's tough for me. It's like, yup, it sure is. Like, and I think just like planning for the juice, just being able to be like, it's not when he comes out. He's already out. I've built my team around it, so I'm not that worried about free actions. So I'm good. I'm chilling. It's like, oh, well, dang.
I think so many people had built that way where it's like, okay, when he comes out, I'll do this. It's like, well, how about if he stays out?
Yeah. What if he just
how about
here?
if he's just, yeah. I'm here.
Hey, look, brother. I'm just here. How's it going?
Say nothing to me, man.
Ain't nothing to me. I'm just on the map. I'm eating bugs.
I think people initially were saying, oh, yeah, Beetlejuice main force. Then people pulled back from it. Everyone pulled back from it. I believe he was the only person playing at main force.
Rocks.
So that is very, very cool.
Modern top 8, we had Ryan Redmond in 8th. He was playing Blue Beetle Prime. Pretty dang cool.
The last Blue Beetle Prime player.
Brody Bobbledyke was playing Pull Your Plants Up. He's playing plants. Little plant action. Mm-hmm. Dan Powell, it's called Trento Cappy, but he was playing the double Captain Marvel build.
That's the guy
Kevin.
who made it.
Oh, is that his one? Shout out Trento Cappy. Then that guy rocks. Devin Owens was playing Kevin and Elsa in his build. Nicholas Madison was playing Collector, dude. Collector
with Space Ghost, too. Very cool.
Collector Space Ghost rocked. Matty G was also playing Collector. Yeah, his top 4 is wild, really quickly. Mm-hmm. It was double Ghost Rider, double Collector in top 4.
I was saying it
never
before the
expected
tournament.
it. Thought it was wild.
I said Collector, I think, is a bad play. I'm surprised he 2 top 4 teams.
Yeah.
Especially, like, at one point, I believe it was top 8, Nicholas and Dan were playing. And, yeah, Dan's team very quickly is 2 Captain Marvels with motorcycles equipped to him with Kevin. Kevin lets you reroll any roll, so Super Senses, Shape Change, Impervious. Motorcycle gives her Super Senses. She has Shape Change, she has Impervious. And for every token she has, she gets a +1 to her single D6 rolls. So basically, you can reroll your Shape Change, you can reroll your Super Senses or your Impervious, and sometimes you're like a 3 through 6 on that. So how do you ever hit that team? A good example of that, like Pat Frazier faced against him, and I believe the top 16 or no, this was before top 16. And Pat's team had like Captain America, no defense powers.
Yeah.
Caveman Wally, no super senses. Battle Fury on it, like the whole 9 yards. And Dan still
get through it. That's what blew my
outsustained
mind.
it.
I was like, dang. I was like, man, if anybody can beat this, it's Pat.
Yeah, Pat's
He's got all the answers. Yeah.
And
but
somehow
no.
Dan switched the test up on him.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you copied the wrong answers.
And then second place, Rob Olger. And then shout out first place, Joseph Harrison. What an awesome dude. Dude was just like
Joseph was awesome.
Beaming personality all day. Dude was just super friendly all day, hanging out with everybody. He was just one of the chillest guys there.
He played BRs after he won.
I know, dude. As soon as he was done, I'm like, I would like take a rest, take it easy. And he's like, let's play. And I'm like, dang, dude, he was still jamming BRs. Even after like Team Sealed, he was like, all right, let's play some BRs. Like, that's just a guy that like wants playing Heroclix, and that rocks. That's what I love seeing.
It's a man who knows he's got a limited window and he's going to make the most of it.
Yeah, dude.
It's exactly what he
play
did.
Some Clix. Go nuts. Like, we're here at this event. I'm here to play. I'm here to have fun. So his build was Colossus Prime with the motorcycle, Ghost Rider with Crimson Gem, Kevin with Tyrette, the Black Panther Legacy figure with the longsword,
free longsword,
Perdegaton, Timebreaker, and then a Lucas, PJ, and Scott bystander. His sideline was Fortify, Rivalry, Beetlejuice, Cthon, Scarlet Witch was the pilot for Ghost Rider, and then Tyrette. So Scarlet Witch, you can still get like Shape Change or Prob, so he gets like Pensai and Shape Change. But she has to come in on this like Click 7, yeah?
It was always on...
Pretty gnarly.
Yeah, it was always on Click 5. I don't even think, like... I don't think his Ghost Rider died once during the day.
Nah.
People just wouldn't attack him.
I thought it did die one time and he could pull it out. Maybe it didn't.
I know for
Maybe
like
it never
talking
did.
with him, I know for a majority of the day people just ignored Ghost Rider, and I'm
Yeah.
like, that is crazy. But yeah, Psychic Blast shape change. That is not something a lot of people were doing. I'd also be curious, like he only has the one pilot on his sideline.
I know, that was also interesting.
If that gets Beetlejuiced, or sorry, a Black Panthered at the beginning of the game,
Fair, actually.
and now it's
That's
like
hurt.
you
That's
don't have any
hurtful.
rollouts on him. Like you can, yeah, he's just invincible at that point.
Yeah, actually, scary.
Am I crazy? Crimson Gem? Maybe you carry the phone booth with
Yeah,
somebody
of course,
else to
playing the
get him
phone
a
booth.
shape change then? I wonder if that happened. Also, the nifty traffic barrel was on his build, which, yeah, that makes it hard to
Yep.
engage. But man, I suppose the Kevin reroll too, like came in clutch, I'm sure, for some, some rollouts.
I would imagine so, yeah.
Man, but I did talk to a few people who did attempt to pulse wave him, and both of them said, yeah, he shape changed out of it. And I was like, man, that's the power of Ghost Rider, baby. That rocks. But sorry, that happened to you.
Shape changing out of Pulse Wave. Oofta. That's
So
wild.
modern, yeah, overall, I like
Modern was fun.
I like the meta.
Like, yeah, it was like diverse. It felt really diverse to me, and it was diverse. It was super defensive. Also, there's a few D's for you there, but I don't know. I still had a fun time like watching it, talking with players about Modern. It just felt like it, wasn't solved. There was no like one crazy team that felt way strong. Like even if it is like different flavors of defense, Collector is cool. The Ghost Rider stuff is cool. Honestly, I dig the
Colossus?
Captain Marvel stuff.
I don't know.
Colossus is wearing on me a little bit. I'm getting over Colossus.
Yeah, I mean, I am too.
Tired of seeing him. But, like Plants made a good showing. Random Pass stuff made a good showing. I think the Gala stuff is so cool, too. I'm, like, a big fan of.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, the rollouts, like, our rollouts my least favorite thing in the world? Correct, yes. But
the fact
she
that
kinda
team works
The
is
fact
cool.
the team works, it also just kind of gives me Super Scroll vibes, so I do kind of want to play it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I
I
love
like
that.
Super Scroll vibes.
Yeah, I do like me some Super Scroll vibes, so I'm all about it. But yeah, I had a fun time watching Modern. I thought it was cool to watch. It's better than like the Apocalypse era, the APOC Genesis era. Like
Better than the
I
Kong
like-
era.
way better than Kong.
Kong
Oh my
was like
gosh.
nowhere. I think he was on
I
three
think
teams.
like, it was like Dylan Casabon was playing Kong, and like maybe one or two other people. It was not a lot of Kong going on at all.
People must.
I'm okay with that.
I don't fully know the reasoning for that. Maybe people are just like, yeah, I know how to kill this piece now.
I think that's what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all right. We played it enough. We know how to get rid of this dude.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
gotta
really worried about
imagine
it
there's
anymore.
like some fatigue as well.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
pinning exactly why?
after a year
don't
of
know.
Kong, I mean, what is it? It's March. Yeah, it's March. So like after like almost a full year of Kong, I'm good. I'm tired of sitting across from it. I never really played it.
I just thought for sure like somebody would be running some kind of team to like alpha him across the
Be
board.
scared of Hidari Yao? I guess.
Yeah, that is a little scary.
like, yeah.
I mean, everyone was scared of Hidari Yao, and then nobody played
No one
her.
played her.
And
So
the people
funny.
who didn't do super well. Well, Isaac did well. He
This
made
is
top
also
16.
early enough from like Collector's Trove and like the meta season where I also think it's kind of like people don't own everything yet.
Yeah.
I think I can definitely tell that for some of the teams. It's like, people just haven't had time to like
The
get
bystanders
everything.
in Trove.
Dude, the bystanders is huge.
Handful of people had their stuff overnighted,
the
yeah.
bystander. So
Yeah.
funny.
What a Cyan Sebman had an overnighted package. to him.
Cyan Sedman. So he's
I
just
think
this
that's his
bluish.
name.
Yeah, Cyan.
It's like him when
Sedman.
he's in the Blue Man group.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Why do you have a drum with you?
What are these PVC pipes for? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry.
Except you can't talk.
Oh yeah, he can't talk. He's
can't
just
talk.
viciously
He's
shaking his
just,
head.
oh, and his eyes are wide.
But you see tears streaming down.
Ruining the blue makeup a little bit more blue. So blue.
Starts like violently writing down something, but then you just walk away
Yeah,
before
I
it.
never get to see it. He's like trying to hold it up to you, like no.
Yeah.
So Modern was fun again. Joseph won it all. Rob second place. Great players, great dudes. It was fun hanging out with them, chatting with them all day, and just enjoying it. Had a blaster in Modern. Also got to shout out Craftworks Forge and Action Objects.
Oh yeah,
Both there,
I've
both had
got
booths.
my list of people I'd like to
okay,
shout
right on.
out.
We can do Team Seal. I guess,
Yeah, we'll do
before we
Team Sealed, then we'll do.
So Team Sealed, we got to team up with the OG HeroClix content creator, Glass
man.
Cabinet. Like, this dude rocks. Ryan Morgan's awesome. He's how I got into HeroClix. So just like quick mini story for those that don't know. I totally found out about Heroclix through YouTube and through like Glass Cabinets videos. So he did a lot of videos in his early channel about like action figure reviews and mostly mini mates. Like if you don't know what mini mates are, they're just like a really tiny, like 1.5 inch tall like action figure. They're really cute little tiny figures that come with a ton of accessories. So when you're a kid, every single mini mate is like a 2-pack that comes with a stupid amount of accessories. So like $10 is like, wow, this is way worth it. More than like one Marvel Legend or something. You get 2 figures and a ton of accessories. It's awesome. So I was just obsessed with just watching action figure reviews because I didn't have a Toys R Us near me. I didn't really have a Walmart near me.
You didn't have anything near
I didn't have anything near me. Yeah, very true. Like the nearest Walmart, hour away. Nearest Toys R Us, 2.5 hours away. And I was just obsessed with action figures and toys and video games and comic books and all this stuff. So I just watched a ton of reviews online. And Glass Cabinet had reviews of like Minimates and stuff. He had the most Minimate reviews anybody had. And he also had Heroclix. And it was through like all the different reviews he did and Heroclix that I found out about what Heroclix was. And then I just watched like so many unboxing videos. I don't know why. I was just obsessed with watching like
oh dude
booster.
Me too.
What's in the booster, like what did you pull, like what correlation did you pull? Like
it's like I can't buy this volume of boosters.
Exactly.
I want to.
Oh, I wish, dude. I wish.
Like
I
the
could.
idea of buying, an original case was 48 boosters, the 4-figure packs.
Yeah.
I remember like just thinking about like how cool that would be and just be like, but that's an unfathomable amount of money.
Yeah.
How could you even? Are you kidding me?
So
I think it was like a case was probably like $300 some $400 at the time.
Yeah.
Because a brick was like $100 for like 48 figures. It sounds about right.
Yeah.
So man, but that I know another video. This isn't Glass Cabinet Films. That video of those guys who bought like I think it was 2 cases looking for the Supernova zombies.
Oh, okay.
And they didn't pull one. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Watching that happen, I remember.
Dude.
I watched that video probably like 50 times, like 10 in this story. But just being like, man, I wish I could buy a case and search for zombies too. Like, oh my god, that
honestly makes me like itch to buy some Supernova sealed. I've not bought sealed Supernova.
You own all of them.
I know I do, but still, I got the one time I could have pulled a zombie. It's snatched from me, dude. Booster chain snatched from me. The one time I was going to pull a zombie.
You know who did that?
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
Nope.
There's somebody worse.
Someone way worse,
so
dude.
much worse.
So much worse. He got timed out during our live stream. So much worse.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Anyways. But yeah, so we got to play with Ryan Morgan, Glass Cabinet, the OG, like the goat of making like HeroClix content. Back when like pretty much no one was making HeroClix videos.
Yeah, you were lucky to get a video
down.
with no mics, nothing. It's loud. You can't even hear the players. You can barely see anything. It's like 280p.
You were thankful.
And that's like a match. It's like, I mean, I can't tell you how many of those matches I watched too. Like, so much so that it's like meeting the players was like meeting a celebrity for me.
Yeah.
And, I'm when that happened, I was like 15 or 16. I'm like, yeah, dude, like you played this match against this. And they're like, whoa. Yeah, I did. Thanks, man. They were just like, nobody like clearly had ever done that to them where it's like, I know you from YouTube. And they're not a content creator. It's like, you're a player. I respect your play. So sorry that happened to you, whatever. They're just like, dude, is one match. You're referencing something from like 5 years ago. So yeah, Ryan's the GOAT. Passed the torch without really realizing it is how he put it. But he was really happy to see what we were doing. He's like, you guys clearly, pushed it in the right direction. And it's like, largely, you were the start of like the premium HeroClix content. Like there was just nobody on his level. He was doing fun, unique stuff, showing everything off, covering the meta. Like he did everything. Yeah. And so if you go to the archive of his channel, probably still worth checking out. Some of those old GSX videos especially.
Dude, it's so cool.
Just flexing everything.
You see that, like, he pulls that Hulk, and you're just like, oh my so gosh. Sick. It looks so good. Yeah. But yeah, so we got a brick of Spider-Verse. Man, I was not in love with our pulls. It was terrifying. It's like when we're building all teams, like
no, even before then,
just when we're pulling stuff. Yeah, it's like Super Prime.
We're literally going. Don't give us Chase Hawk. Don't give us Chase Hawk. Don't give us Chase Hawk. And then like the 3rd or 4th booster, it's him, and I was like, oh gosh. And we had played with a brick. We played some 2v2 with
shout out John and Mike. Yeah,
and we thought we were opening the identical brick, and it was like, please no,
slightly different.
But then right after I opened the Chase Hawk, the next booster I grabbed had the Super Rare Prime. I was like, okay, we got something to work with. Because I knew he was going to be a menace and sealed. Like, there's no question.
And we knew you wanted to play Mysterio, so it was super easy. I was pushing for you to play a Sinister Syndicate team, which I'm happy you ended up playing. Mm-hmm. I thought it was like sick.
It was so brutal.
Yeah. I mean,
nobody had a chance in my games. It was literally a steamroller. I think I had like 850 points. I had like 2 outwits. everything worth killing on my team had Mastermind. I had a bunch of like opportunities to bring goons in with Mysterio, and I could also just dish a bunch of damage. I was like so confident that, you know, people weren't even going to waste their time with Doc Ock. That I wouldn't even make her at the beginning of the game in some of my matches.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I was like, I'm going to drop this to deal more damage to you, and that's exactly what we did. Oh my gosh. Like, I felt bad sitting down against some of my opponents because I was like, I know how this is going to go. Post up, come attack me. Wow, that was worthless. Bam, bam, bam. See ya. And that was the majority of my games. Well,
Then
2 of the 3.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Calder, how was your experience?
I mean,
I had a great time.
I said at the start of the show, I had like the least fun I'd ever had, I think, playing Heroclix this day. It was really tough. So like we built your team, Sinister Syndicate, that like easily went together. I'm like, yeah, these pieces, this stuff, you know. And then for Ryan, it was like, let's give him some big beefy stuff. So we gave him like
less figures,
beefy stuff. So we gave him like full point Bedlam. We gave him Moreland
with the glider.
That was a sick move.
So you can't shoot him.
Shout out Jocelyn of Dice Station Zebra for saying give Bedlam the glider, because that was just a dumb moment. Like, oh yeah, he's awesome. He's sick.
So he's a 20 up close with double prob. You can't shoot him from more than 4 away with the symbiote trait if he's within 4. Has a rollout, has impervious, and reducers were so strong. I don't think Bedlam died all day for him. The rest of his team was what? Moreland, Spider-Man Noir.
What it was outside of that, yeah.
Kurt Connors.
Okay, yeah.
And then something else. But yeah, overall, like Ryan gave up very little points. Like I think he gave up only like 200 some points, but he had to play against Captain Universe.
Oh, it's so
only
brutal.
gave up 80 points. Only Moreland died, which I was like, yeah, man, that's good.
That was really impressive, honestly.
But yeah, there's just no way you're going to beat that. You just don't have the volume of attacks or damage to take that figure down, more than likely, by the time he can just light you up. And that, I believe, like your second round was pretty close for you. No.
Yeah, but no, my second round was really close. So like when I was playing, and I literally felt crazy as I was putting this team together. When we built Ian and Ryan's teams, I'm like, okay, well, I've got a lot of legs to stand on, and I naturally built a Spider-Man family team, which I just felt like, what is wrong with me? So like, go Spider, 30 points. The Spider at 40. The Spider rocks, though. I love the Spider. I think he's
he's
sick.
Really good.
Spider UK at 45. Spider-Man Noir at 60. Firestar, which again, she also rocks.
Really solid,
at 50.
yeah.
And then the biggest mistake of my entire life, Spider-Punk at 85. I had played Sealed the week before, and I was like, oh, Spider-Punk. Obviously, no duh. Gotta play this guy. Mm-hmm. And I should have learned. I should have learned during local Sealed that Spider-Punk was not the play, because I played him. He would run up. He would almost always hit his pulse wave. Like every single time I played Spider-Punk, he would run up, he'd hit his pulse wave, and then he'd get turned to dust the instant like next turn. He's such a waste of 85 points. Just cut off every click that has charge. Just cut that off and make him like 30 points or something. If I could just pay for those top 3 clicks, I would do that.
His mid-dial transition
10 times out of 10.
Bam.
Dude, it's just so brutal. Like it's not quote unquote useless, but it really sucks. Mm-hmm. Like an 85 point piece goes to this like 10 attack, 9 attack charge quake piece. Don't get me wrong, when he was like a 10 for 4 at his very last click, I hit some people hard. That was cool. That was like neat. But man, he's such a what do you
liability.
Call it? Liability, but like what's something that like it's like a fool's
glass
gold.
Cannon.
Glass cannon, fool's gold. Like he looks good,
Yeah.
but he's just not. He's just so
Pyrite?
Pyrite, yeah. You know,
Fool's gold, I think that's what it is.
Okay. Then that's Spider-Punk is Spider Pyrite, dude. He
Spider-Punk.
he hurts my soul. It's like every game I would run up, I'd pulse wave. I talked with Devin Owens like a little bit, and I'm like, dude, I hate Spider-Punk. And he's like, really? I'm 2-1 with him. And I'm like, how?
Of course you are, Devin.
Yeah, you're Devin Owens. That's different. I'm Calder next. But he had Lady Stiltman to go up there and then grab him and sidestep him back. So move him back 3 squares, make him a little more safe, which is like, that's different. You have a get out of jail free card. I just got to leave my Spider-Punk out in the open.
Yeah.
So I liked the flow of the team, though. I liked the double wall crawler with the Spider, with Spider-Man Noir, being able to, like, I can get, like, shape change on everybody. I can get 50-50 super sense on everybody. But I'm a single rollout hater, and my dice still reflected that. It was really tough. All of my games were close. It just always ended up, so I was like, dude, if I just didn't have, if Spider-Punk just didn't die, I would have won. Like, that was literally it. Like, he just gives up too many points. And that's
fair.
That's why he's the ultimate liability, and that's why he was like painful to play in Sealed. I mean, I was playing games that were just slog fests. Like, the first game was awesome. The second game against Brody was actually really good. To where, like, I was, like, trying to, like... I think I made some of my best plays ever. Like,
my second match was definitely my toughest one.
Yeah.
I had to play against a Prime Craven and a Moreland.
Oh.
And that was...
Oh.
But I just...
That's tough.
I mean, just having 2 outwits, I could pretty much decide the flow of the game.
I think that's what I kind of ended up needing, was the second outwit. Because, like, the one outwit with Noir was huge. It was really good. Mm-hmm. But just needing one more would have been really nice. And then also, everybody, like, I don't have a single defense reducer on this, like, entire team. Not top dial right away.
Another reason why Moreland is so good, that
really,
Mystics.
Truly is. It's like...
If we were going to change things, we should have given you Moreland instead of Spider-Punk.
Yeah.
Break your theme.
Yeah, 100%.
And honestly, that I think would have been a huge difference maker. And then Ryan maybe could have played the black suit Spider-Man that he wanted to.
There you go, yeah.
It's so much worse, but at the same time, it's like Ryan's MO the whole day was just like, I'm going to give up as little points as possible.
True.
Which was such a sick mindset. Because he's like, I know I'm not like experienced anymore. He's like, I know what I'm going into.
Getting back into it after a minute, yeah.
The other thing, we wrote this figure off because, I mean, this ain't the super rare Prime Hawk. This is the chase one, which my feelings are still very much the same on this. I don't like this figure. I don't. But he honestly might have been a better call
than Spider-Punk. Yeah, like, just no move and attack. He is a leadership outwit piece. That's cool.
Giant Reach 4.
Shares his 11 attack with no one on my team.
Precision Strike outwit.
Yeah, Precision Strike outwit leadership is pretty cool.
So there's a world, and, saying that, Calder was in a great mood at the time of it.
Being, I was in a phenomenal mood.
Could have been Dr. Octopus. He's like, could have been Dr. Octopus. So, yeah, that was...
Sorry if I was short with anybody on Sunday. It wasn't my day.
No, it really wasn't.
It was not.
Man, I think that we definitely could have built better teams. I mean, my team was optimized.
Dude, I was like stressed.
I
was stressed out. Your team was so easy to build, though. Mm-hmm. Your team just came together. It just was so like,
we pulled the... And I was like, I'm playing Mysterio. I was like, so I'm playing the Prime Hawk.
Yeah.
I got the job done.
I was literally so stressed building my team. Like, you and Ryan are like building his team, and I'm just like using almost the rest of that time. Like, how does any of this make sense? How does it go together? I literally felt like I was going crazy. And like, when I looked at my team, when we were like done and time was called, I was like, I hate this.
Yeah.
I was literally like, I have a pit in my stomach. This does not feel good. I don't feel good about this at all.
I really think shifting Moreland to your build was the call.
Yeah, that would have been really helpful.
Yeah, just honestly though, it's crazy. I think I really underrated Moreland going into this because prior to this Team Sealed event, I just bodied Moreland. Like, when Luke played him, dead. When you played him, see ya.
Dead, yeah.
So I didn't have to play against him. So I was like, man, this guy's a chump. I just cleared him off.
That's
the
how
map.
I thought too, because I was like, when I played him one time, he just died right away.
He got murdered.
This dude sucks.
So like my minimal experience with him, he was a body.
He's a beast.
So yeah, Team Sealed overall, we went 1-2. It's all good.
Hurts.
Yeah, I mean, I had a great day.
I was like, I gotta
care.
win one of these games. I know I can win one of these games. Mm-hmm. I seriously felt like I was making some of the best plays I've ever made, but still just getting dunked on, just losing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I was always against the ropes, like really trying to like think outside the box, make some crazy play, and like stretch for something.
There were no ropes where I was. There were hammers. There were hammers, and there were like glass, whatever, just smashing.
Not even nails, just
glass.
He's just breaking jars.
I was breaking.
Yeah.
And shout out to Donald, who I played in the first round. You're probably listening to this. He's been listening to Dial H since before, like Chris. He's been listening since.
That's super cool.
Like legacy listener.
Since like
so
Hunter
thank you,
and Austin and Drew and stuff. That is really. I always like hearing from fans like that or some like listeners of the show, and they're like, "Yeah, dude, I've been listening since like the beginning." And it's like, "Oh, so you've also like got to see how Dial H has like changed like a lot over the years, which is really cool."
I did so much poison damage to him. I'm sorry.
Poor Donald.
Like triple poison. It was a bit tough. But yeah, I mean, my team was absolutely stacked, so it's not really a fault of his.
Oh, fair.
I suppose we can run through the shout-outs for the event now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Cameron, we won't say your username even though it's so good.
Yeah, dude, Cameron rocks though.
Cameron, you were super nice. This guy brought me a liquid death in the middle heat of everything on Sunday. Just completely revived me.
Yeah.
So, or no, Saturday, wasn't it? No, Sunday. Whatever day, it doesn't matter. That was really cool of him. He came over to us immediately on Friday and was like, hey, just really like what you guys do. It was really nice talking with you, man. So if you're listening to this, thank you for supporting the show. Thanks for supporting us. And hopefully you're enjoying that Peacemaker box, courtesy of another shout out, Mr. Adam Shriver.
Yeah. Adam was awesome. Adam's always like a joy to have at events. He's like, I pretty much only seen him in Florida, though.
He's only in Florida, yeah. He lives in a
shame.
different place now. I was about to dox him.
Adam rocks. I had a lot of good conversations with Adam over the weekend, just kind of chatting about whatever.
Yeah,
I finally broke and was like, you know what? Dang, dude. Give me one of them boxes. Fine. Give it to me. So
they're so cool. Craftworks Forge, guys. Check him out.
I got myself the Lex Luthor box, which is really sick.
Tag still on it.
Repping.
Flexing
tag. But Adam rules. He even like gave me a set of like the bystanders that my Captain America generates, which is really cool. Like he's just a super nice guy and just super cool dude.
I bought some Venom tokens that I already had, but these are in purple now, so I have a full Venom set, which is really cool. But yeah, he makes a super killer product. He's a really fun guy. I talked to him about this, that, and everything over the weekend. Like so much stuff, even outside of Heroclix. I wish I'd get to see him at more events. But my hope is that you guys could find something from his store and go support him because he is a great person and he makes quality products. If you are on the fence about the Clix case, I've owned one for a little over a year now. I love it. Store all my Batman-related stuff in it, and it's just so handy for when you go to an event. So
that was basically
slight little ad read.
No, but like finally, like the straw that broke the camel's back was when I was like really finally like looking at the Clix like case, the box. I was like, you know what? When I go, I bring my backpack. My backpack has my thing that carries like my Clix, my action tokens. And then I put my maps in the back of it. And I put my PAC in the front of it. This thing is just my entire backpack, but it's easier to carry. I'm like, oh, this just makes sense. Not if I'm bringing like a colossal or anything, If I'm bringing a bunch of cloth, I'll need my full backpack.
I mean, at that point, I just throw it in a cardboard box.
True, also that.
Back in the day, those plus 13 monster themes.
Yikes! What an era! But yeah, like I was like, wow, it just made sense to buy one of those boxes. And I was like, I got cash. He'll do cash. Cool.
Dope. Awesome.
Yeah.
So Craftworks Forge, guys, check him out.
Check him out.
Love his stuff. We already shouted out Ryan Morgan. You're the man.
Dude rocks.
Another Ryan, the Redmonds, Ryan, Christine, Oliver. You guys are always just fun to hang out with at events.
Always chill.
We got Ryan to buy a new pair of shoes. That's worth noting.
Did he not buy a pair at the event? He bought a pair, or
either that, or he had another pair.
He seems like a guy that might have two pairs of shoes with him.
2 pairs of like green shoes.
Yeah,
maybe. You know what, Ryan? You do seem like the guy
who would have 2 pairs of green.
That's fair.
His like lime green shoes.
He didn't know that DC, like the shoe brand, was Deerdeck Corporations. So I
didn't know that.
That's Rob Deerdeck,
yeah,
former skater turned into the host of Ridiculousness. I'm sure everyone loves that show, right?
My dad does. My dad thinks it's hilarious.
Sorry.
My dad knows when to laugh because the blonde girl's laughing. Makes sense.
Ha ha ha! Oh my god, dude! Back when I worked at Ken's Corner, the bar, I had to watch that show so much because that
was always just on.
Either that or Cops. I've seen like every episode of Cops
and
way too much of Ridiculousness. But anyway, I told him, I was like, yeah, it's Deerdeck Corporations. He's like Deerdeck? I was like, yeah, Rob Deerdeck, the skater, the host of Ridiculousness. He's like, I hate that guy. I was like, well, you're supporting him. You're wearing his shoes. He's like, okay, well, I have to get rid of these
then.
He
burned his shoes after that. Viking funeral.
So we were giving him a hard time about that. That was really funny.
Christine piles it on too. You start making fun of Ryan, she just instantly goes, yeah, and also this. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, it's like,
here's what.
It's like, well, you're wearing shoes of a guy you hate, and she's like, yeah, and check out his pants too.
It's so funny.
The Redmond dynamics are great.
Oliver rocks
great theme
though.
Team.
Oliver and I chatted a little Fortnite. Reassured me.
A little Spider-Punk too.
Yeah, we talked a little Spider-Punk.
When you were Calder was on camera. And Oliver was like, I love Spider-Punk. He's like my favorite figure in the set. I was like, and this is after Calder just went 0-3. I was like, can you walk over there and tell him that? Can you just let him know how much you love the figure? And right when Oliver walked away, I was like, yeah, Calder's just been going off on this figure all day.
So mad. I hate that piece.
And you just kind of had to be like, yeah, I don't like him.
Yup. I was like, that's great, Oliver. I don't like him. I wasn't going to lie to him.
Yeah, that's fair. I got to shout out Dan as well from Degeneration Clix for total Chad playing Legacy Odin and then almost making cut with it too. He actually he's really close to beating the person who won it all, like the Ghost Rider build.
Oh, yeah.
So that was really cool. Props to that. I mean, just giving people Earthbound like globally, it's a lot stronger than you'd think. Is it the strongest thing ever? Maybe not, but that's a figure that, maybe consider. So, yeah, we also had some just good conversations with him.
Yeah, he was a great dude.
Always do. Shout out to David and Chris, obviously, for putting on an incredibly well-run event. Like, wow. Just seriously so seamless.
It was stupid smooth. And, shout out the whole judge team, right? So that's Anthony Barnstable, PJ Bull, and Lucas Van Holland. Mm-hmm. Those guys just killed it as
Clay
judges.
Wood as well.
Clay Wood, of course, for
creating
running HC units.
The backbone of what every event should be, and just a great tool for building. Also, had a bunch of great conversations with Clay, too.
Clay's such a great dude.
So
just
much
chill
stuff
dude
outside of
with,
Heroclix. Yeah, just really, really solid guy. So I'm glad that the community has come together so much to support the work he does. He's got a great product. He's a great person. He's one of our own, so you can't go wrong with it, right? And then another one, my last one, is Phil, who he was the person I played in round 3 of the Team Sealed event. He goes, yeah, like I used to play. I was like, oh, for sure, not thinking much of it. He goes, yeah, I got second at Worlds twice. I was like, huh?
Dang.
And he's like, yeah, the year that like Silver Centurion, I was like, yeah, dude, I watched that match like a ton. Because again, that's who we were. He's like, yeah, that was me. He's like, I didn't know about this ruling with shape change involved. And he's very clearly like well versed in like what Heroclix used to be. And so I ended up chatting with him quite a bit, and it was just really cool to have that kind of blast from the past.
That is sick.
But then, just absolutely clobbered him in our match because again, I had just such a stacked team. Felt bad about that, and I was like, yeah, man, welcome back.
Hey. Hope you're having a fun
Hopefully
time.
you stick around, Phil, if you're listening to this.
Cool.
It was nice meeting you. I'd love to have another match with you in the future where maybe we're on a little more equal footing. And then, that was all my shout-outs. If I missed you, sorry.
Sure. Shout out really quick, Aaron Virgilio. He, obviously Action Objects, makes all sorts of other really cool stuff. He gave us some really cool barrier tokens I'll actually be giving away here soon. So it was always good seeing him. Shout out Emily and Devin from up north. From old Canada, freezing
always
cold,
good seeing
super
them.
chilly. Always great seeing them. They're always so happy, smiling, hanging around. They're fun
Devin's
to talk with.
always quick to share his tech too.
I know. I appreciate
props.
that.
Like day one, he was telling me about the wild stuff he's doing with Spider-Man. He also recorded a 15-minute episode purely on that rare Spider-Man.
Oh wow!
Go listen to it.
What? Actually, dang.
Really interesting what you can do with like him,
is sick.
Mjolnir. He can create a lot of value.
Wow, I'm actually kind of impressed.
Yeah, go check out JSA
actually
Clix
really cool.
and listen to Devin spew about the old spider.
Let this man's pop off. Let him go crazy. And then I'm gonna last shout out. I'll just shout out like Jackson Smith. It was just cool seeing Jackson all the way from the opposite end of the freaking country.
Yeah,
he's hanging out, and he was just like,
I didn't expect to see him.
I didn't expect to see him either, dude. And like Jackson's looking great, and he's just got great energy. He's just good hanging out.
Yeah,
he's just
dude. Honestly, major props to Jackson.
Seriously, has like such good energy when he's at an event. He's like, "Yo, what's up, guys?" And I'm like, "Dang, Jackson, you just always full of energy, always fun to chat with."
Crazy luck in BRs. He had like 5 chases. He's like, "Open up this booster."
Oh, dang.
Like the sleeve of it. Just like, what the heck, Captain Universe, Mysterio, like Doc Ock, Sam. I was like, "How did this happen?"
How'd you do that, bro?
He goes, "We kept not pulling chases, and I draft the boosters, and I would just pull the chase." I'm like, "Wow,
insane luck! That rocks,
just
Jackson.
crazy,
That
crazy,
rules."
crazy."
And then, of course, I want to shout out Sheldon Larmond for running that really cool pass team that I thought was really sick. I'm probably going to kind of pseudo copy and run here because it's really cool. It's really fun. But yeah, ChampionClix 2025, rousing success. It was so fun. It ran super smooth.
So good.
I heavily enjoyed the event. I think the venue. Oh, so yeah, man, shout out the Renaissance Hotel. The venue space, at least, not the restaurant, but the venue space. I absolutely loved the venue. It was so much nicer than last year. Even if there wasn't an Applebee's on the inside of it, it was still just a phenomenal venue, and I just had a really good time. It was super nice. It was super clean. We had like way more space.
Yeah, the event where it was hosted at was really nice. The Renaissance Orlando. Wish we could have gotten outside, but the day we had off, it was like 60 and windy.
I know, it was such a bummer. That's
Not
how it ended up
happening.
working out. But
so I came back to work. They're like, "Weren't you in Florida?" I was like,
where's
yes.
the tan or whatever?
Yeah, I was like, there are days where I wanted to be outside, trust me, but the thing is, I live by a strict code, and that code involves recording plastic superheroes.
That's true. Recording plastic superheroes. Like,
You're not going to break me.
I told Mike, almost every night I just ate Steak and Shake and watched anime. It was awesome.
Drank chocolate
Wouldn't
shakes.
change anything about it. It rocked.
Yeah, I'm not an anime guy. You guys know this. But man,
Dr.
Dr.
Stone's
Stone,
good,
yeah,
man.
really cool
Ugh.
premise. And then there's a nice twist in the first season. Not really a twist, more so like explanation.
That was pretty cool, yeah.
That makes it
Like that a
more
lot.
interesting. So yeah, great show. Give it a watch if you want. Or if you don't want to, watch it anyway.
I'm 1,000,000,000% certain that you'll enjoy it if you watch it.
Science.
You won't change my mind 1 millimeter. Anyways, guys, we're going to go ahead and finish off the episode with some questions for the show. These questions are over on our Patreon. If you want to support everything that we do over here at Dial H for Heroclix, if you want to buy us some chocolate shakes, you can go ahead and support us
do that.
over on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/
money.
Dial H Podcast and go ahead and support us there. So over on our Discord, Supercab asks, what is more playable and modern, Wakanda or Spider-Man Family?
Spider-Man Family. Easily.
Easily.
Nobody's bent the keyword with Spider-Cat yet, but I think the mixture of Animal and
Animal and
Spider-Man Family is going to
Spider-Fam.
be crazy. It's probably not easily. Wakanda, I've built quite a bit with Wakanda, and I have my own bias. I like Spider-Man way more than I like Black Panther. That's
The
just
power
facts.
level for Wakanda seems more readily available to me anyways. Like, it seems really obvious, like, what's powerful in Wakanda.
Full Wakanda, though?
Full Wakanda's a little tough.
Yeah,
Scientist
like Diana plus
Wakanda-
Black Panther Prime is nuts. Like, you're
Yeah.
a 15-5 without a single use of Perplex with Flurry and the Longsword, which is
that's
free.
sick.
So, Wakanda probably has, like, the better overall figures, but if you have to do, like, solely
Strict
that keyword,
yeah.
which I don't know if
fair.
he's really asking. I think that seems
I think
like the way
that's what
it's
you're
worded.
saying, like the Wakanda keyword purely or the Spider-Man Family keyword purely.
I'll take Spider-Man Family because Animal bending seems really strong. Animal is lacking, like Perplex. Their stat modification is pretty solid, but just not quite there. But you have stuff like the Caveman Wally West, which again gets the free longsword. Shutting off super senses is amazing. You have the Deadpool and Hitmonkey, which is like a crazy undersung piece in Animal. And yeah, bending that into some Spider-Man Family stuff I think could be pretty solid.
Bill then asks, what is better, driving or flying to an event? Also, have either of you tried taking a train? I mean, driving, hands down, lets us bring all of our
Bill
equipment.
can't even answer this question.
That's true. Wow.
You'd
That
have
is
to
true.
go to an event, Bill, to have an opinion on this. But thank you for asking.
Oh, it's hilarious.
It's driving, no question.
Yeah, just being able to bring all our stuff, you kind of control the pace at which you go. You can leave when you want to
You're
leave.
more comfortable.
You can go when you want to go.
You don't have to go to an airport at 2 in the
You
morning.
can use your phone when you're not driving. When you're in the passenger seat, you can use your phone without, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Driving is just goated. I can't stand flying.
Driving is so much better.
Maybe it was just because we were flying Frontier. Negative shout out. Don't
Yeah,
fly Frontier.
Frontier
ever.
is so
I don't
bad.
care if someone's forcing you. They got your family chained up. They're about to throw them off the pier or something. Don't ever fly Frontier, guys.
Don't do it.
Oh, that's all I'll say. Then Luke asks, so it's been a minute. We just wrapped on a big tournament. And he says the second best Clix event in town. Oh, my. And a good run of small ones. Why is no one playing 051 Wong? A lot of points for Charge Flurry.
He's a full move phasing,
full speed
flurry
phasing,
with
giant
precision
reach
strike, exploit, prob. He's mystical keywords. We can have Chthon. You can equip him with, close combat expert or like a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So he's 80 or 90 points. I don't know. I think there's better options overall in his point range. Where I think you could see him is celebrity theme, because then you can get Kevin
There you
on
go.
theme. But celebrity keyword, every time I've looked at him, I'm always like, just not quite. And I feel I've shared that with a lot of other people who are in the same boat. I don't know. I think
Dang. Kind of makes me want
Wong?
to play Celebrity now, actually, now that you say that. I'm curious.
You can get Kong, Madison, which there's a
My
few
boy
mystical
Steve, which is all that matters.
Yeah.
Kevin, Wong,
Kevin,
Steve.
yeah.
I love Steve.
I don't know. Wong, I just feel like there's other people who can hit relatively as hard as him
Yeah.
that have like more sustain. I think you could play him.
Is he like impervious top dial? That's kind of crazy that Wong has impervious top dial, actually. He's like impervious in roll toughness.
7, 12, 18,
And he's got a
3,
stop click. I must have parked.
special, precision, impervious, special. And then he has like the Spider Hammer Eye trait where he can lock in with people, which situationally, if you can force that, is probably pretty good. He's definitely a playable piece. I guess I can't fully answer why people aren't playing him, but I'm at the same time, I'm not like super surprised that he's not being played.
Yeah.
I think if you're playing Mystical, there's already so much stuff. Like, I'm playing Man-Thing before I'm playing a Wong.
Oh, yeah, dude.
He's just...
way more sustain on Man-Thing. Oh, my gosh. Beefy,
similar
beef
stats.
boy.
You can give him, like, the free Gaia. Like, Jennifer Kale slots in better with him. Mystical is, I think, a little more open. Like, you could play both of them, I guess, but Mystical just has other stuff you want to play. Ghost Rider's 5 less points. And every single time I've taken Ghost Rider wrong. I don't know. Personally, I just don't love the figure.
No, I've never been big on him either, I guess.
I just don't really like Wong
he's
to begin
cool.
with.
He's got
Wong's like, okay.
He's got a great sculpt.
The sculpt is very cool.
Really sick. Him comes through the portal. But yeah.
I don't have a burning desire to play Wong.
No, not really.
Any version of him.
Sorry. Wong.
So it could be that, too. People are not particularly attached. Again, you put Spider-Man on that dial, people would probably play it.
Yeah.
You put Batman on that dial, people would probably play it. I think part of it is probably the character he is.
The rule of cool, dude.
5 more points, you can have Juggernaut, too.
Juggernaut's way sicker than Wong.
Juggernaut's so
way
much cooler,
than
dude.
Wong.
You kidding me?
Yeah, Juggernaut rocks.
Say nothing to Juggernaut.
Ain't nothing to Juggernaut, man. I got a crimson gem. I got crimson bands, dude. This ain't nothing to me, man. Charles Xavier, I don't like you very much, man. Anyways.
I want to quote. You guys know the video, but this isn't the show for that.
Oh no, we can't quote that. No, we can't quote that Juggernaut video.
In my tight suit.
No,
that's all I'll say.
Corey Capehart sent us an email. That's right. If you want to send us an email, you don't even have to be part of our Patreon.
Ancient technology.
Dial H for Heroclix at gmail.com. You can go ahead and send us a freaking email. Corey is asking about his new playgroup. So he goes on to say, fantastic content. Keep up the great work. Always looking forward to new content and appreciate your approach to the game. Thank you so much, Corey. Really appreciate that. He said he's came back to Heroclix after a long hiatus. Currently has about 9 to 12 friends. Coming over to the house once. That rocks, dude. That sounds like such a baller time. Coming over to the house about once a month and playing. Have always been a kitchen table meta type player and looking to start up a local playgroup. Have 3 local shops. None currently carry Heroclix, and that would be able to support the game. So only a few of those friends would be willing to then invest money into the game, so he's looking to bring in some new players. What do you think would be the best way to bring in new players? How would you teach the game to completely new players? Thank you for listening, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. So first off, you kind of have to approach the shop. Make sure one of the shops will then have space and time for a play group. You want to go up to them, figure like, hey, what's up? Like, kind of figure out like what day do you guys usually play? What works out for the most, like, majority of your friends that will like consistently play, right? So figure out that day, figure out that time, figure out what shop doesn't currently run an event, or at least will have the space for you guys in their shop if they already running an event, to get you guys in and playing. Just figure out like what logistically works out, like just makes the most sense, just like who can make it, what time works for everybody, what time works for the shop. Once you get that figured out, just really hammer home like your area. So like type in that town, like make a Facebook group or a Facebook page. It's like the name of the city or the name of the state, Heroclix, or Heroclix, name of the city, name of the state, right? So that way it's easy to find. Make a public Heroclix group or page or something for that little playgroup area. Make it easy to find. I cannot stress that enough. Post things on HC Units, post on the win, post on that Facebook page when you guys are playing, what you're doing. Look for other playgroups, Facebook pages or something around the area. Heroclix is very Facebook heavy, just the way it's always been. So like really post on there and like let as many people know as possible. You can put flyers up in the game shop. You can ask if the game store's employees, if they have like a calendar on their website. A lot of game stores have this where you can see a little calendar on their website and it'll say like, we play Magic on Mondays from 6 to 9 or something. We play Lorcana every Wednesday, etc. Like make sure Heroclix has a spot on their calendar. So that way people that are new to the area or even just like looking to just stop by really quick, they know that they play Heroclix on certain days, right? So just really make sure it's out there. Make sure people can find you. Make sure it's easy to find you. Make sure you just have plenty of ways, like kind of like advertising your play group in a way. And then as far as like teaching the game to new people, have a good extras box with plenty of like well-known
honestly, like
characters.
Pre-built teams.
There you go.
Teams really help out because then it's like, hey, you've got your favorite. Oh, you like Batman? Here's a Batman team. Like Spider-Man? Here's that. And then I think a really good starting point, I've taught a lot of people how to play over the years, is legitimately saying, like, let's not even worry about powers right now.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just play with the numbers and the action system. and then slowly introduce stuff like, all right, so this is charge.
What I do when I play, I always found that if I just do the actions and like the powers, it's really slow, and it's just like I move up and then I attack next turn. So I do like a mix of teams. I say every character with range has running shot, and I give them like maybe 1 or 2 characters with range. And then I say every character with no range has charge, and that way it flows slightly better. It's a little more like fast paced and stuff.
Yeah,
which is what I've always liked. Otherwise, it's kind of like a move, stop, attack. It's very slow.
Just getting people familiar with like the values.
Yeah, just being like roll 2d6, like attack versus defense, add 2d6, and then all right, what's damage? That's right, the little starburst symbol. Like just getting through the very simple, the stuff that we just is natural. They have to completely learn.
Oh yeah, and then really just once you're kind of work to a point where it's like, okay, we understand like the core mechanics of just like movement, different action types. Then, like, I mean, really just keeping the figures you're playing, like, minimal text, minimal special abilities, like traits and specials that maybe just reference other standard powers. Like, learning the PAC is definitely, like, the first step, and that's a lot. And it's really easy to forget that it's a lot when it's just like, oh, yeah, I know what that does.
It's a ton.
It's so much.
I forgot that, like, 10 years ago, I decided to just go crazy, and just like, oh yeah, I'm going to memorize the PAC. Of course, like pseudo memorize, right? Like understand the gist of each power.
Yeah.
Like I can be like, yeah, super strength. That lets me pick up objects, when I move, I can drop one or pick one up. I can use it in a close attack, or I can throw it. That's like the gist of it. I don't know word for word what super strength says,
No,
but like the gist,
definitely not.
Yeah, I got it. Like that's all you really need. And then once they just start flowing that way, it's really, it gets pretty simple. I've done a mini, like, learn to play, like, with one group of friends. And what I did first was, like, introduce speed powers, like I said, that, like, makes the game move faster. Then I introduced, like, defense powers, so it felt like their characters didn't die as fast. And then after that, I introduced attack powers, so now it felt like, oh, there's a way around your defense. And then I found damage to probably be, like, either the most, like, non-straightforward or the most complicated with things like perplex, prob, support. Just very, like, they don't necessarily flow for like the attacking wise, but they're more like fundamental, like strategist part of the game. So like I always save damage powers for last. Once they had a firm grasp on like moving, attacking, positioning, all this stuff, then it was like, all right, let's get into some crazy nitty gritty. Now you can take powers away. Whoa, what? No way. Like, yeah, now you can reroll attacks. That's always a great one. I love seeing people's eyes. I'm like, boy, I can.
Yeah, majority of the figures, like,
they're like, no way.
When teaching Luke it was like, here's your Superman. A GSX Sabretooth was a favorite. Juggernaut, just very straightforward, like point and click pieces. So avoiding those things, and just keeping it, pretty much you're moving or you're attacking.
Yeah.
And just, really just strip the game of what you find like confusing and remove that for the people who are learning. And before you know it, they'll be curious enough to start learning on their own. But there is an element of that as well. You can't handhold all the way to the finish line.
They've got to eventually just...
They've got to get that spark.
That little hook in their lip. Like, oh, man, there's rocks.
I'm
this
a
is
delicious
awesome.
Fish.
And
I've been caught.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. I can't wait to...
But I can't lose
need
to
more
this hook.
worms. Yeah, no.
But then they lose to the hook.
Yeah.
And then you find yourself
then they
like,
get
doing
reeled
a
in.
podcast.
Yeah.
20 years later.
That's actually the natural...
That's
a natural life cycle of every Heroclix player. Believe it or not, you will all eventually do a podcast.
You'll have a podcast.
You'll all do a podcast eventually.
Will it make it through the test of time? That's for you to decide.
That's
but
true.
You will have a podcast.
You will have... I mean, that's just... It's just a phase every Heroclix player has to go through.
It will include the word Clix in it.
Oh, of course. The word
has to.
Clix is going to be in the podcast somewhere. It has to be.
Yeah. There's no other way to do it.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't make the rules.
No.
I just abide by them the best I can. Or if it was Anthony, he'd say, like, you don't really abide by the rules at all. I'm like, yeah, I try.
We don't. We go our own way.
It's true. But all right, guys, that is going to be episode 556, Florida. Phenomenal time. Great event. Once again, thank you, David. Thank you, Chris. You guys rock. And thank you to everybody. That's right, you, the viewer, the listener, who tuned in at home and watched the coverage. That's who we're doing a lot of the coverage for. We saw peak viewership around, like, it was like 87 or something during the finals. It really rocked. We had great coverage this year. We had, like, the most amount of people that have tuned in for a Florida event to date, which is really cool. I mean, we only done it twice, but still, it's really cool to see just how many people were in the chat, having a good time, having fun while we were doing coverage. So you guys always make it a blast. The more active the chat is, the more fun it feels like we're not just talking to a camera. We're talking to the people out there in Heroclix land, having a great time. Oh, yeah.
There are some times. Yeah, it's not as fun.
It's the way. You know what? Yeah, this is the
Look
way
at
it
me.
goes. Please, somebody say anything. Please, I'm begging you. I'm going crazy talking to myself here. But guys, for all of your Heroclix needs, unboxings, YouTube videos, podcasts, and so much more, make sure you dial H. And like always, happy
Scrappy
trails.
Dales.
Ah, man.